didn't say that.
Okay.
By a show of hands, who is 5'10" and shorter? Okay. You probably can guess where I'm going with this. Now by a show of hands, who is 5'5" and shorter? Alright. And by a show of hands, who is 5 feet and shorter? I see you. Well, I'm Kiva Siobhan Bradley, and despite obvious physical characteristics that I have, my height, there are lots of things that I want to tell you, so you will be able to get to know me better and not just be like, oh, who is that girl, Kiva? Oh, she's that short girl, like everyone knows, short girl over there. So I've narrowed it down to a few topics: where I come from, my family, and my major, in order for you all to get to know me better. To begin, there are 2 places that I want to tell you about where I come from that will help you get to know me better. So the first place is Dublin, California. It's a small town in Northern California, just outside of San Francisco. Well, not just outside, like an hour outside of San Francisco. I grew up there for all of my life before I moved here. And it's pretty small. There's not that much to do. But I do live there with my family, 2-story house with our cat and our dog. I'll get to that later. I went to a Catholic school through grades K through 8. But then I later transferred to Dublin High School, the public school that they have there in my hometown. So in order to entertain ourselves as high school students do, we would go out to eat, go to the movies. We did have an ice rink and a bowling alley, but we didn't really use it that much. I don't know. we didn't want to, high school students have not a lot of money, so. Okay, but for the most of my time, I spend, I'm saying a lot, and I keep thinking about
No,
that.
and that's okay. Throw it out there. Let's talk about this. You spent most of your time. Take a huge deep breath and know that even if we're on that treadmill, you can slow it down and speed it up as much as you want. So take a deep breath. And now, what do we know about you from being in Dublin and Catholic high school, and then you went to, or Catholic middle school and Dublin high school? What is that? What's that do to you, that small town feel? How does that help us get to know you?
Well, I've always kind of wanted to branch off and get out.
Okay, I've always wanted to branch off and get out. Not I've always just kind of wanted to get out, right? I've always wanted to branch out and get out of a
small town. Most of my time spent there was either doing schoolwork or in rehearsals, and I'll get to that when I talk about my major. So the second place that I wanted to talk about was Ireland. That's where my family immigrated from. I was not born there. My older sister was. But I'll talk about that when I get to my family. So I'm 100% Irish. I know nowadays you'll talk to any white person and they'll be like, oh, I'm 25% Irish. Well, I'm the real deal here. Okay. So I'm proud of the culture that I have and very grateful for my opportunities to go back and visit the rest of my family in Ireland. So I will now talk to you about my family. As I just explained, my parents are from Ireland. All of my family lives back there except for one aunt that I have who lives in Washington, and then another group of family that lives in Spain. My older sister, Sonia, she lives down in LA here as well, so it's not so bad being away from my family because I have a member who lives near me. My older brother, Ronan, he goes to UC Merced, and he's studying biology, which is a major that I thought about following, but I'll talk about later why I chose what I did. And my little brother, Noah, he is only 14 months younger than me. So we essentially grew up together. We're what you call Irish twins, not like really twins, but we were babies together and like grew up. So we're very close and we joke around a lot. So I miss him. Like I'm just laughing with him and stuff. Not stuff. Laughing with
Good.
him. And my dad is a little on the quieter side, but he still has like a really funny humor. And my mom is like most moms, overprotective and always wondering, oh, where are you going? What are you doing? Who are you going out with? And because they're Irish and they didn't grow up here, I feel like I was raised a little bit differently than some of the other kids that I grew up around. While my parents did not have a lot of money growing up, they've come to America with really good opportunities and they were able to grow their wealth. But that didn't mean that they'd give me everything that I wanted. Whereas I'd go to high school and my friends or other people that I knew would be driving brand new cars and had like the newest iPhone and all of that. My parents, gave me like the hand-me-down car that went from my sister to my brother to me. And so, hands off the podium.
I think that they've taught you to appreciate
Yeah.
things rather than give it to you.
Yeah, rather to like work hard essentially and not just like have everything handed to you just because your family has money. And also where I come from, it's a little bit competitive. There's always this like need to kind of be better than the other person. I have more stuff and I like have more opportunities to go do this. Whereas in Ireland, people are more like willing to help out and like build people up with you instead of just kind of climbing to the top yourself. Which lastly brings me to my major, which is theater arts. It's a big part of who I am.
Okay, so you want to practice something?
Okay.
Okay, good. We're going to do the big deep breath like we did before in between each sentence. So with each sentence, make it very small. Try to avoid compound sentences, meaning connecting them with a comma or an and or a so or a but, etc. So very simple sentences of what the point is. And we'll take a huge deep breath together at that punctuation at the end of each sentence. So take each sentence as its own entity. And I'm going to take a deep breath with you to start out, okay? So let's go into this last one, which brings you to your major, which is theater.
Ever since I was little.
Okay. No, and this is okay. So this is the other thing, sorry. When you take the breath, hold it at the top until you think of what you want to say, and then breathe out with that thought.
Okay. Ever since I was little, I would be known to be walking around the house singing, dancing, making up little skits with my brother.
Period. Making up skits with my brother. Next idea.
When I got a little older, I started to get involved with community and school theater and musicals. It is something that I've always enjoyed, and I'm very passionate about it. I think that all kinds of arts are very influential, especially theater arts, because you have the opportunity to bring up topics that maybe are uncomfortable to talk about but should be talked about, and it is also used for a way to educate people on certain topics. And even when I'm not on stage, I'm the sort of person in a friend group who is always trying to make other people laugh and tell funny stories. And I am very excited to continue my education on this subject. And to wrap things up, despite my physical characteristics that usually stand out more than other aspects of me, such as my origin, my family, and my major, I'm glad I was able to talk to you about this thing so you have been able to get to know me better.